You know, it's actually something to see this in person versus just seeing this on a TV screen in America, that people are dying here.
It all happened in Kiev, that people, thousands of people came to the main square of Ukraine.
Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the largest invasion of a neighboring country in Europe since World War II.
If you're wondering if the war here in Ukraine is real, just look behind me. These are vehicles that have been brought up from the front line. These are Russian vehicles, some Soviet era. Like, you can see the damage on the inside of some of these vehicles. Good morning, and today we are in Przemyśl, Poland, and today we're going to Ukraine. So I got to Border Patrol around 7:30. The train does not leave till 9:45, but I was like, I should probably get here early. And there was a long line of people trying to go through the Border Patrol and then to get on the train. So if you're gonna come and cross over into Lviv, you should get here about like 7:30. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I really don't know how to feel. Like, I am nervous. Yeah. So we made it to Lviv, Ukraine, but first we have to check into the hostel. But this train station is over 100 years old. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I cannot believe I actually am here in Ukraine right now. And one thing to note, to actually, know that there's a war going on here, is looking at the building, there's these wooden things encasing, I'm pretty sure, sculptures. Okay, so this is the Lviv Opera House. And apparently there still are shows going on, but inside of this plaza, outside of this plaza and square, people are living normal lives still. I really did not know what to expect, but even just how there's opera shows, there's kids and people playing with the water and taking photos in front of this place. So I'm in my hostel right now, and you can actually hear the sound to go downstairs. So wait, what is this?
So this is the chat for Ukrainians to warn them about sirens. When hedgehogs go under the bed, it means that siren is on, and then when they come back to normal, then it means that you are safe.
Huh. So I am going to be trying my first Ukrainian dish here, borscht. Now borscht has beets in it, it has cabbage in it, onions, garlic. Now this one has pork. But one of the things about this soup is it's actually red beet soup, like with actual beets in it. Oh, that's really good. They have lard here on the side, which comes from pig. So this is pig fat. Let's try some bread with some pig fat, essentially. Okay, that's really good.
Every granny in Ukraine makes children eat borscht because it's super healthy, but at the same time it's very tasty, so it's a really pleasure to eat.
Like, just look at this. I need to learn how to make this at home. This was fire. Like, I never finish my bowl when it comes to soup. Like, okay, y'all, I really cannot believe I am in Ukraine right now with someone that I met in a hostel. So I'm here with
Luba.
How do you say it again?
It's Luba, but it means love in Ukrainian. My name Lubov it means love.
When I was on the train, I think for the first time, like, while taking a train, I was like, wow, I really only see women on this train. And then if I saw a male, they were, younger.
Yeah.
That was like the first time I've ever seen that. I don't know. It was interesting.
Some men leave country illegally, and it's not considered to be a good position. And for the girls and the kids, for the women, some of them are really afraid, and this is why they leave. It depends on, I would say, the person and the perception of events. So if you have such a strong anxiety and you're afraid something bad to happen, then these people cannot just stay here.
So you can't, as a male right now, you cannot leave Ukraine unless you're a child.
Yeah, you can only leave Ukraine if you have 3 kids and more to do this. And both men and women are obliged to go to the army. We have this obligation to go, but for women it's not that like critical.
So apparently I came on Independence Day, and so tell me about this and what is it called?
This shirt, yeah, it's called вышиванка. This was a traditional holiday wearing for men and women here, because they made all of this by hand, and now they can be really, really expensive if you buy the one which is done by hand. And when there is the Independence Day or some other national holiday, people wear it just to feel united.
You know, traveling around this city, you really do see that people are trying their best to live normal lives. And even right behind me, there is a tour group, and they are exploring the city. They are still seeing what Lviv has to offer. And walking around the city, you see different things that remind you that, hey, like, there is an active war going on. So looking at this old church right here, there's wood panels. So actually there's wood panels that are protecting the stained glass windows. This is the Garden of Heroes, and there are multiple trees planted in honor of Ukrainian soldiers that have fallen in battle. So this Ukrainian soldier was born in 1980 and died in 2014. And it actually has their names and what year they were born and when they died. I just love what they did to honor these heroes. They planted trees in honor of them, to where even though they passed away serving their country, they're going to continue to live on forever and ever with a tree that signifies life. You know, I was really nervous to visit Ukraine, even just visiting Lviv, even though it's on the westernmost part of Ukraine. But she just took me to a basketball court where there are locals playing basketball. Ooh. There's a Ukrainian flag hanging up. And then one of the most interesting things is this sign or this poster that says, "Boycott Russian sports." There's people in the back. There's red circles that are in red to represent blood. And then a target painted on there. I'm from Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From the United States?
Yeah, and now are you from?
Don't you afraid of being here?
Huh?
Don't you afraid being here?
Am I afraid being here?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
So, yes, I was nervous, but.
Oh.
So, what are you guys doing right out here?
So it's not typical that I'm staying here. However, sometimes when I'm out of office, so I'm working in a semiconductor company. And by the way, I have been to America as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see even with the Boston shirt.
No, no, I bought it in Ukraine.
It's a huge pain to see what goes on outside Ukraine about the perception of Ukrainians. Like everyone really considers that we are victims, but we are not. Like, we are staying strong, and we are rather a partner for the world, but not the victim which just requires, I don't know, money and rescue.
We are strong as have never been.
There's engineers, there's people that work in IT. I didn't know that Grammarly and the Mac thing were from Ukraine. So I feel like we need to make sure that...
Not only Grammarly, but also Ring. If you know the Amazon acquired Ring company.
Really?
Ring
That's Ukrainian?
also, yeah. The startup from Kyiv. Okay.
That's a startup from Kyiv, Ukraine.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and then what was your name?
My name is Oleg.
Okay.
But that's fine to call me just Oleg.
I'm Davion.
Oh, Davion, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You know, even though Ukrainians are playing basketball, drinking coffee, you still cannot forget that there is a war going on. You'll find these posters all throughout the city, and the translation goes, it's basically saying thank you to the armed forces. I don't want y'all to think that Ukrainians are just enjoying their lives here and that nothing is going on. They're not thankful to the men, the women, to everyone that is showing their support and to Ukraine. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know what to expect when coming to Ukraine, but seeing them playing basketball, drinking coffee, working, Ukrainians are living normal lives out here, even in spite of the war that's going on. This is Lviv, Ukraine, a modern university that produces lawyers, produces
sociologists and also leaders doing MBA management. So these are elites which are formed here to develop the nation, because you cannot build a nation without highly educated people. And education is a high focus in Ukraine right now, and especially losing so many people right now, everyone counts. So every person who can take leadership and who can grab people around is very valuable. This is why people invest to Ukrainians' education, and people who graduate from here, they also make donation to make it happen, and they also raise donations internationally.
Ukraine is not an underdeveloped nation. They are a nation with beautiful people, beautiful lands, universities that are modern, producing hard-working Ukrainian people. Don't just think that Ukraine has beautiful old towns. Ukraine is modern, beautiful, and strong. This place is the memorial of the Heavenly 100 Heroes, representing 100 Ukrainians that died in 2014 in Kyiv during the revolution. And this revolution was where these people were peaceful protesters in Kyiv, and the president was owned by Russia and was kicked out by parliament and the Ukrainian people, and he fled to Russia. Here you can also see people that light candles, and even the memorial itself is so symbolic. It's actually a rusty metal. Originally it was just steel and how steel looks, but over time it has rusted, and this is supposed to represent the barricades. This is supposed to represent the burning smoke, the fire, and just the spark of revolution here in Ukraine. Look at these Ukrainian heroes and all that they have stood for. Now you can come up here and have a beautiful view, but you can also come up here and remember what these people did for Ukraine on that day in 2014.
All of these people, their deaths are the price for freedom. And this is why we have to value freedom so deeply, because it has a price.
Opportunity to give an honor to those who was fallen 9 years ago.
You need a way to express this aggression, because the guys on the front line, they can do it directly. They can just kill people which come to the land. But if you are here, if you do not express the aggression, you will get sick. But it was very funny, and the most exciting were the kids, because they kind of run around and they help to detect, like this Ukrainian army to detect this Russian. They were saying, hey, hey, he's there, he's there.
Водочки твої тобі да прямо в гарі.
And they are also raised in a spirit that it's not okay that somebody comes to your land and just kills people. Yes, you have to resist. This is why even the kids, they were carrying some guns or something looking like guns. And they were like, again, because other kids who do not express aggression, they could have disease. They have to go to the psychotherapist. But when they do, when they express it in the rude words also, many of them, they were using different rude words to say to this Russian. And like this helps to overcome this actually.
So here they also have this beer called Putin Hulo, which is like saying that he isn't it. and basically fuck, and it fucks. So look at this beer. You literally have Vladimir Putin and then the former president before him on there. Designers really got this going.
A perfect way to donate and help Ukraine win the war is go to thebraveproject.com and book some pixels on this board of Ukrainians' victory. You can select the menu you want, put in your logo or just the name or with a link to the website, and you will stay on this board forever, helping Ukraine to win. When you make a donation, you select whether it goes to the kamikaze drones, which is a military help, or bioprothesis to help people who lost their arms or legs fighting for the victory.
It's 5 in the morning and we are heading downstairs because of apparently maybe some rockets might be coming. It's currently 5:30 in the morning and we are downstairs right now, but she has been downstairs a lot before. So what is it like?
So right now, whenever it's about 4 or 5 in the morning, you get a siren. The sirens go off, and most definitely, some regions are being hit. Right now we are in Lviv, and the latest news is that the rockets are in the territory, but they have already affected a couple of territories. So sometimes you have to be careful with the news, and most people do not actually go to the bomb shelter, which is understandable because it can happen up to like 7 to 10 times a day. But sometimes it's necessary in order to save life.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not think how this would feel, but being here, you can really definitely feel that there is a war going on and that it is real. So now, the air alert is apparently over. And the sun is up. Okay, so this is the cemetery with all of the people that have been murdered in this war, and they're from this area.
Yes, but unfortunately it's not all at all. So it's only one of the cemeteries where it happens. Like there are so many people dying that this place would not feed them all. So for now, often when we open Facebook, it can sometimes be at least once a day that somebody died. And you always see this picture and you don't know now it's a fundraising for this person or this person has died. So you're getting so used to it, and you know, like for me, it was not typical previously to see, for example, like a dead person, like the color of the skin, how it looks, and so on. And now, like I have this picture in my head. And then you keep calm for some time, but then if it's coming closer to someone you know, you then again get this shocking state of mind. Yeah, you see, it looks like we're in a movie. It's like in a movie.
I feel like it's so hard for people abroad to really know what's going on unless they come here or they know someone who's from here.
You know, like these pictures, for example, a video from this place where we are is kind of one of the typical videos from Ukraine right now. So it's like, okay, with this picture you show like the price of the victory, yes, but it's always about being personal, so you do not feel it that much if these are not people whom you know. Yes, and the way closer it comes, the way more you understand that it can happen to everyone. So again, saying we never expected for the war to happen here. Like it was all looking like it is somewhere in the past, that people make wars at all. And for what? Like for no reason.
What do the red and black flags mean and symbolize?
This is the flag of Ukrainian Resistance Army, which was very active, for example, in the beginning of the 20th century, fighting to Ukraine's identity, being on the cross of other cultures trying to take over us. And it is like staying here, you even thank the planet to do that and the nature, because this is how you feel, and you are not afraid of being wet, because being wet is the simplest thing to have in this life, compared to being dead.
This is what it looks like when Russia invades a peaceful nation and targets civilians. I am in Lviv right now, and this is an apartment building that was hit over a month ago, and people were murdered, people were injured, and Russia is trying to break the Ukrainian people's spirit. Psychologically, physically, they hit an office building. There's shattered glass everywhere. You can even see the shattered glass, which made it all the way from this office building. But they cannot break the Ukrainian people's spirit. They already have bricks out here. They have a crane out here. They have wood. Ukrainian people will win this war, and they will build their nation back stronger and better. Just being here for a few days, I've met so many Ukrainians that just don't give up. They're not victims. They're strong people with so much love to give. You know, it's actually something to see this in person versus just seeing this on a TV screen in America, that people are dying here and that Russia is actually, like, they are attacking this country and trying to kill the Ukrainian people and just erase them off the face of this earth. How does it feel seeing this destruction in your city, Lviv?
You know, when this invasion started, we all thought, like before, watching the news from Syria, it seemed to us so far, like it's some other place where the war goes on. But now when we see this in our cities, which we are used to see peaceful from our birth, like I was not born seeing anything like this, yes, then we clearly recognize that this can happen everywhere. And if in your country, if some other country now it's peaceful, in the 21st century basically any madness could happen. And this is why all the good people have to unite in order to fight this, because this dragon, who is Russia, who is actually making this in many places of the world, yes, they are doing this because they feel that they're not beat in like in opposite, yeah, they're not fighting back. But if we understand that it's not enough to do only humanitarian help, we need to fight back, then they will have no force to attack. This is why we are so grateful to all the places in the world, to all the countries, companies, people who help. I am here in Lviv, you are here in Lviv, and we are safe, even looking at this, but still comparatively safe. It's because of our armed forces and the world helping us.
And honestly, none of this would have been possible without having one of the most amazing guides I could ever have here in Ukraine. So thank you for telling your story and for your country. And your country is blessed to have an amazing citizen like you.
And I say hello to US. Your country inspires me also so much. And I believe that all together we can make the world a better place.
Right now we are in Strisky Park, and there's people walking around having a good time. And these last few days being here in Lviv, Ukraine, I've learned so much. I've been to the cemetery. I have seen how they bury and mourn the losses of their people. I have seen people having fun out here, living a normal life, getting through the sirens late at night. Seeing how strong the Ukrainian people are, listening to them play music in the park.
I'm falling in all the good times. I find myself.
It was nice meeting you. Have a great day. Thank you. Y'all were really great. even when their nation is being invaded by Russians, by Russia. The Ukrainian people have so much courage. They're strong, beautiful, and just amazing people. I have met so many great Ukrainians here. My name's Davion West. I don't know where I'm headed next, but I know it's going to be somewhere here in Ukraine to tell the Ukrainian people's story. Slava Ukrainians.
Tell me something, boy. And you die, try to feel that boy.